Hello, hello, my friends. I have my Bath and Body Works Candle Day haul to share with you today. Yes, I know Candle Day was approximately 2 weeks ago, but truth be told, my nearest Bath and Body Works is approximately 35 minutes away from me. So unless I have other errands to run, like going to Costco or another grocery shopping trip or I don't know, anything else, it doesn't make sense for me to make the trek in just for that one store. And unfortunately, the weekend that Candle Day took place, I already had a pretty packed schedule, so I had to order online, which isn't a bad thing, other than I wish Bath and Body Works would put in like a shipping threshold for free shipping, because I don't know, that $6.99. Anybody else, it just irks you to pay for that shipping fee. But anyways, I did have to, well, I don't want to say have to. I chose to shop via online, which actually surprised me because going into Candle Day, told myself that I wasn't going to purchase any candles, and now I have a table full of them right here in front of me. So I'm going to share with you what I purchased, give you some of my first, I would like to say these are first sniff impressions, but I'm going to give you some cold sniff impressions because I have smelled some of these before, and let you know if I plan on keeping them, exchanging them. You know the drill. So let's not waste any more time on an introduction. Let's dive into this. If you have been with my channel for a while, the first two candles that I'm going to show you are not going to be a surprise at all. The first candle that I'm showing you is Winter White Woods. Now, peeling back the curtain a little bit here, full transparency, I actually purchased this candle before Candle Day. There was like a $12.95 sale, maybe 4 weeks ago now. And I was really nervous that this candle would go out of stock prior to Candle Day. So I went ahead and purchased two of them because I did have a coupon that I could use at the same time. The fragrance notes on Winter White Woods are glistening icicles, dried cedarwood bark, spiced sandalwood. I won't sit on this one for too long. If you have watched any of my Christmas videos, I have talked about that this fragrance to me smells like the Christmas tree lots that I used to visit as a child. I grew up in Southern California. We didn't chop down our own trees. We just went to the tree lot. This smells like the fresh stump, like they just cut the Christmas tree. It's very much wood heavy, but it's not a woodsy, cologne-y type of fragrance in here. I do get some of that sandalwood, but it almost reminds me of like the sap on a tree. This is just, it's a perennial favorite for me. It's one that I always want to make sure that I have in my collection. I do have two currently in the collection. One I've been burning actually already, and I burned my one from last year all the way through too. So it's a perennial holiday favorite for me. Another candle that I can't remember if I burned this one, if it was the beginning of 2023 or if it was late 2022. But this was a candle that I was so excited to see make a return this year, and it is Pistachio and Toasted Vanilla. The fragrance notes on this are salted pistachios, toasted vanilla almonds with natural essential oils. If you are familiar with Hallmark's candles, Hallmark's had a fragrance that was very, very similar to this. I want to say, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. It was called Almond Flower. It was sold on QVC. And I had a lot of wick issues with that particular candle, but the fragrance, very, very similar to my nose. This one is like I would call this like a gourmand, a perfumey gourmand, if that makes sense. There's nothing powdery about it, but you get that like creamy base. Oh man, it's just so good. Salted pistachios, toasted vanilla almonds. There's an almond note in here, which I love. I love almond notes. I've come to learn that about myself. So I do get like a creamy almond in here. Oh, it's absolutely glorious. Now the wicks on these are kind of like those thick tree stump wicks, but they do look pretty well centered on this one. Let me look on my, and on my Winter White Woods, which is an online exclusive, so you probably won't be able to find it in stores. It does have the little like metal core in the middle. I will tell you that the first one of like this 2023 release that I'm burning, I've hit about the halfway point on it, and it is slowing down on the burn, but I'm just continuing to keep it in the hurricane. And I've noticed some of my Bath and Body Works candles will slow down midway through the burn, and then they pick up again towards the end. So I'm waiting to see if that is what will happen. But anyways, those two are ones that if you've been with me for a while, you are not shocked at all to see that I repurchased those. All right, let's go ahead and wade into some other territory here of, I think, actually all of these candles are new to my collection. I haven't had them before. So the first one here is Lavender Marshmallow. And it kind of surprised me because traditionally I don't really gravitate towards lavender fragrances, but I do like the Bath & Body Works, like their marshmallow type of fragrances. So that's why my eyes were kind of drawn to this candle when I saw it on the website. The fragrance notes are fluffy marshmallow, touch of lavender, and fresh vanilla bean. So this fragrance, I actually really like. The lavender note in here and the vanilla, I think this doesn't have the espresso note, but I feel like this is a cousin to the pink lavender and espresso candle that was out earlier this year, which, spoiler alert, I really, really hope they bring that candle back because that was an amazing fragrance. There's no espresso, there's no coffee note in here. But the lavender that I'm getting in this candle reminds me a lot of that pink lavender. There's a vanilla note in here, little bit of creaminess in here. It's not marshmallow fragranced like the marshmallow and like Marshmallow Fireside, but I actually really like this candle. This will be a nice like winter transitional fragrance. If you're new to my channel, I am a seasonal burner, which means that there's certain fragrances that I associate with certain times of the year. I even break it down specifically to certain months. So this is a candle that I actually see myself burning maybe late January, February, but it would be great, I think, year round if you are somebody who doesn't really care about seasonal fragrances. All right, this is a candle that really wasn't on my radar until I think I was watching, is it Sneeko the Diva? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but she was hyping this candle up a bit, and I was kind of like, okay, like, you know, some of the candles that she's recommended I've liked. So this is the Perfect Winter, not to be confused with their perennial favorite Winter. This is the Perfect Winter. The fragrance notes on these are winter pine needles, frosted eucalyptus, and icy peppermint. Okay, so you get that peppermint note in here and a little bit of eucalyptus and pine. I get all of that in here. Here's an interesting thing. A little spoiler alert here. So I did go in store to shop the body care sale this, well, it would be this past weekend. I'm pre-filming this a couple of days before I'm going to put this up, but I did go in for the body care sale, and since none of my candles had shipped up to that point, I went ahead and sniffed around and thought, okay, I wonder if any of the candles that I blind bought, if they are in store, I want to sniff them and kind of get an idea about whether or not I'm going to keep them. When I smelled this candle in store, I didn't really like it. I was like, oh, that one's gonna go into the exchange pile. But it's funny, it smells a little bit different here in my house. I get more of the peppermint, and so I'm wondering if maybe there was a lid that had been switched out on the particular candle that I had picked up, because this smells very different to me right now than it did in store. Definitely peppermint, eucalyptus and pine. It's a colder, like a colder tree scent, although I don't think of a Christmas tree when I smell this. I definitely think of like cold winter air, not like chewing gum, but I like it enough. I'm intrigued enough by it that I think I'm going to keep it. It reminds me slightly of the vibe. It's not the exact same fragrance, but it reminds me a little bit of the vibe I get from Kringle's Winter Woods, the one with the deer on it. Similar family to my nose. It's not the same, but it's a similar type of family. All right, another candle kind of in this, I don't know if it's like a candy shop collection, but I just looked at it and thought, okay, that's probably going to be one that I like. Blueberry Lemon Sour. So the fragrance notes on this are sugared lemonade and blueberry sugar. All right. Wow, thanks. That really tells us a lot. This is very much, I feel like this is not like a completely new fragrance to Bath & Body Works. I think this is probably a repackage. It smells very similar to a lot of the lemon fragrances that I have come to know from Bath & Body Works. Definitely like a sugared lemon. I get a little bit of blueberry in the background, but the lemon is the most dominant note. I'm not mad about it. I do like it. It reminds me a little bit of the blueberry lemon mashup that they had last year, but I think this is a little bit more heavier on the lemon. What was that other one? It was like blueberry and lemonade, or I don't know. I think this one's a little, tips the scales more towards lemon as opposed to blueberry, but that's a really nice fragrance and I do like it. All right, this is one that I was kind of on the fence about, and then I heard a lot of people raving about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in my cart. This is Crunchy English Toffee. I'm not really crazy about the packaging on this one, to be honest with you, but I burn most of my candles in Hurricanes, so they're hidden anyways. I guess it doesn't matter. The fragrance notes on this are sweet brown sugar, crunchy toffee, dash of vanilla extract. I like this. Yeah, this one's really good. This is a gourmand lover's fragrance. Definitely get some of that toffee and vanilla in here. Ooh, I do like this one. It's warm, it's gooey, it's cozy, but like it's not cloying. Sometimes Bath and Body Works gourmand fragrances can get a little too sweet for my liking, but I don't, on cold sniff at least, that's not the vibe I get from this one. This one I think would pair really nicely with like their coffee and whiskey fragrance, or I have a couple of Kringle Reserve candles like the Sinful or the, what's the other one? Dalgona. I feel like they would pair really nicely with that. I do like that one a lot. So glad to have that one in my collection. And then this was one that was, I initially I wasn't really interested in it. And then of course I saw reviews on it and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a whirl. It's kind of got some fun packaging on it. Candy Cane Colada. So the fragrance notes on this are, oh, it's not even a fragrance note. Mele Kalikimaka is a wise way. All right, I'm not gonna sing for you. Santa is out of the office taking a much needed vacation from the North Pole. Okay, this is vacation vibes. This is like a, it's definitely a tropical drink type of fragrance. I would say like a pina colada, but there's a little hint of mintiness in here, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not mad at it. I actually like this one a lot. This will be a nice fragrance to burn after the holidays here when you kind of just want to change it up. You've been so accustomed to heavy tree fragrances and gourmands. This will be like every winter here in Arizona, at least, we will usually get a little spurt of like 75-degree days. And I feel like this is a candle that, that I might break out during that time when I've got all the windows open. Very fresh, lively. I really like that fragrance. So it's one that I feel like you could burn in the summertime as well, but it might be nice in the springtime too. All right, let me organize these candles here. What else do I have? Oh, okay. So this is a fragrance that I love in the body care. And so when I saw it in a candle format, I thought, I'm gonna pick up 2 of those because I know that that's a little bit more of a, I want to say it's a unique fragrance. It's really not, because there's so many like dupes or branches of this type of fragrance now, but it's a fragrance that I don't really see blending well with anything else in my collection. And so that's why I wanted to purchase 2 of them to burn at the same time. This is In the Stars. So the fragrance notes on In the Stars are starflower, sandalwood musk, radiant amber. And again, this smells pretty much exactly like the body care. It's, I would say, a slightly sweeter take on Baccarat Rouge 540. In fact, when I wear this in the body care, I layer it with my Ambery Saffron, which is the dossier dupe of Baccarat Rouge 540. This one, like I said, is slightly sweeter, so it's probably more in the vein of like Ariana Grande Cloud. But I really like this fragrance. Smells exactly like the body care. So I am happy to have that one, again, to be burning after the holidays. All right, here's a candle that I've smelled before. I've never purchased it. Like, I've liked it enough, but I don't think I don't know. I just didn't branch out and purchase it. This is Hot Cocoa and Cream. So the fragrance notes on this are decadent milk chocolate, fresh steamed milk, and mini marshmallows. This one's really good. Another discovery I've made about myself this year is that when they are done right, I actually do like chocolate fragrances. That's never been something that I have gravitated to before, but this past year I have found myself actually really enjoying them. I think the first chocolate candle that I really, really liked was the Kringle's chocolate bunnies. They had like a chocolate bunny candle around their Easter collection, and that was really nice. And this kind of reminds me of it. It's definitely like a milk chocolate fragrance. You get, I want to say you get that lactonic note of like milk in here, but it's not a sour note. I know milk, sometimes when I see that listed in home fragrance, I'm like, it's gonna smell sour, but I don't smell anything sour. Oh, I really like that one. Oh, that's really nice. And I think the packaging is cute with the little, yeah, that's gonna be a nice one that I can burn in the mornings. I also have like some peppermint cocoa candles, so I do like that fragrance. All right, here we are. We're getting into my last 3 candles that I purchased, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. These are candles that I think I'm going to exchange. I don't really love them, so I'll still talk about them, but I do wanna give you a heads up that I'm planning on exchanging these. All right. This is Vanilla Balsam. I know some of you are probably like, oh, clutching your pearls that I'm saying that. Vanilla Balsam. I've seen a lot of my friends here on YouTube talk about this fragrance, but I've never smelled it before. So the fragrance notes are balsam fir, frosted vanilla, snow-capped pine needles. This one to me, it's just, I don't know. It's too, I think where I'm coming from with this is that it smells too Christmassy to me, and I am pretty well stocked up on all of my Christmas fragrances. I'm at the point right now where I'm looking at fragrances that I am going to burn after Christmas. And even though people are like, oh, you can keep it for next Christmas. I mean, like, clearly Winter White Woods I'll keep till next Christmas if I don't burn all of it. But I don't know if Balsam Fir is like my favorite. I don't know. I don't think that this is like a must-have for me. And I think part of the reason why I'm thinking like, oh, I want to exchange it. So when I went in last week and I was sniffing around, another candle that caught my eye that I was like, ooh, I wish that I would have picked that one up instead was Balsam and Bergamot. So it's not that I have anything against Balsam, but I really liked the freshness of that candle. So I think that I'm going to be exchanging this Vanilla Balsam for a Balsam and Bergamot. All right, another fragrance that I'm a little bit surprised that I don't really care for it, because these type of fragrances are totally in my wheelhouse. Fireside. So this is the first time that I have smelled this candle before. The fragrance notes are smoked cedar, fresh clove bud, and warm embers. And I normally am the type of person who likes like smoky fragrances. I love Homeworks' Winter Fireside. I love Fireplace from Kringle. I've even I like Marshmallow Fireside. There's something about the smokiness in this that I don't like. You know what I think it is? It reminds me a little bit of the, was it Sweet Vanilla Whiskey or something like that last year? There was a smoked note that, I don't know. There's something about how Bath & Body Works does smoky notes that I don't really like it. I don't know. It's like not a sweet enough smokiness for me. I don't know. I don't really care for this one. I'm thinking that I may exchange this one for another one of my beloved Coffee and Whiskey. Even though she burns like a dirty, dirty girl, I don't care. It is one of my favorite fragrances. So I think I might exchange Fireside for a Coffee and Whiskey or something else that might come up. All right, and then this last one, I looked at the fragrance notes and thought, okay, I might really like that, but smelling it, it's just, again, it's not really for me. This is Woodlands. The packaging is okay on this. I don't really care for that packaging either, which makes my decision, you know, a little bit easier. Cool citrus, fresh sage, and Virginia cedar. You know what this reminds me of? My daughter got a lotion during the spring semi-annual, or not spring, summer semi-annual sale that was called like Orange and Cedar or Citrus and Cedar. And that's what this candle reminds me of. It's not bad. It's just not, I don't really want my house smelling like this. It's a little bit, it's just not my vibe for me. You definitely get some of that citrus, but this is definitely like a traditionally masculine cologne type of fragrance. So I'm gonna see what they have in my Bath and Body Works that maybe I can exchange this for. I'm thinking I may just go with the good old classic Winter, because I do love that fragrance. And I really like pairing Winter with some of my like orange pomander type of fragrances. Editing Katie popping in here really quickly. So I had to run some errands today. It is the day after I filmed this video, and it did take me near my local Bath and Body Works. So I went ahead and I exchanged the 3 candles that I didn't really care for too much, which were Woodlands, Vanilla Balsam, and Fireside. And I just wanted to show you really quickly what I did swap them out for. So the first candle that I went ahead and got was Paris Cafe. The fragrance notes on Paris Cafe are rich roasted coffee, sugared brioche, and vanilla creme. Now, I have not had this candle before. I know that I've seen it before. I've sniffed it. I do believe that there were a lot of people that said that this candle, when it came back like last year or the year before, did not smell the same as the original, but apparently this new version of it is back to the old standards. Now, the reason I picked up this candle, it's funny because I've never really been one who's into coffee notes. I will say that I do smell like a good coffee note in here. It's really, really nice. I really like it. It reminds me of when I was a kid and went to the mall as a teenager. There's the wicks, by the way. It reminds me of like walking by like the coffee places before Starbucks was even a thing. There were like some smaller coffee houses, and it reminds me of oh man, just like their freshly ground coffee. It smells really good. Fun fact, I actually don't drink coffee. I like the smell of it, but I don't like the taste. Anyways, but the main reason why I purchased this was because remember when I told you that that lavender marshmallow has a very similar note to the pink lavender and espresso? I was thinking, they had one of the lavender marshmallows in the store, and I went ahead and like picked one up and then kind of like wafted them both in front of my nose at the same time, and they gave me a vibe of that pink lavender and espresso. So just in case they don't bring it back for SAS or they don't bring it back at all, I wanted to have another candle on hand that could kind of emulate that vibe. All right, and then let's see here. Another candle that I got, which I went into the store thinking I would get this one because I did smell Balsam and Bergamot last week. I'm sorry, the reflection from the window there is a little bright on there. I did smell this last week when I went in for the body care day, and I did really like this fragrance. So the fragrance notes are balsam branches, crisp air, and zesty bergamot. Now, I will say that to my nose, this is not like a dominant tree note. It's definitely like fresh and clean. It makes me think of my house just being like I've just really, really deep cleaned my house, which I usually do after Christmas time. I actually get a little bit of a head start on it. Raise your hand if you're a mom and you do the old pre-Christmas purge. You know what I mean. While the kids are still in school, you go through and get rid of some of the things that they don't use without them knowing, and they never notice. Anyways, getting back on track here though, this is going to be a really nice fragrance to burn. I say like in those early weeks of January, where you just want that fresh start. So I'm really excited to burn this. Now this one has a little bit thicker wicks, it looks like. So we shall see. And I know my experience with a lot of these blends, they do tend to burn pretty dirty, but I do like the blends enough that I just deal with it. All right, and here's the surprise of surprises, you guys. Hot Pink Cocoa. Okay, this is one of those candles that I read the fragrance notes online and it did not appeal to me one bit. So the fragrance notes are sweet ruby chocolate, whipped vanilla cream, and raspberry sprinkles. This does not sound like it would be in my wheelhouse. In fact, I picked up the, the brioche French toast. I know there's been more chatter about that, and I did not care for it. Of all of the ones, and there were like 4 candles in this little collection, this was the one I really like it. So I get those like, I don't want to say like there is a cocoa note, but it's in the background here. It definitely being described as a ruby chocolate. This is like, I get that whipped vanilla and the raspberry sprinkles, because this doesn't smell like a raspberry, but it does smell like artificial raspberry sprinkles. And I'm not mad about it. I really, really like this fragrance. I think this will be a really nice one to burn in February. It kind of gives me Valentine's Day vibes. I think that I could pair it really nicely with the Homeworks birthday cake. So those were the 3 candles that I picked up. And then I did want to show you also in another bag here, I did redeem a reward for a candle holder. And it's just because this is a little sentimental thing for me. So my dad was a huge train buff. He loved trains. He had a room in his house as a model train layout, and thankfully my son also loves trains. Like, he's just as passionate. So I thought this holder was cute and I had rewards, so I went ahead and I purchased this. That is it for my candle haul. Let me know in the comment box down below, did you participate in Candle Day? Are you tired of seeing Candle Day hauls? I know that my feed has been blowing up with them. I'm here for all of it. I love all of the home fragrance. Is there any candle in here that I purchased that you were like, oh my goodness, I love that one too? Or it's fine if you say, I'm glad you like that one, but it's not for me. I will have coming up, I know that my channel has been pretty haul heavy the last couple of weeks, but going into the Christmas week, I do plan to put up some videos for you talking about my favorite candles from this year, as well as maybe some candles that I didn't like so much. So if you want to see my thoughts on that, make sure that you hit the subscribe button on your however you're viewing this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is absolutely free. It is not a paid subscription service, and it really helps me out here as a content creator. I had a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers. I'm pretty close, but I'm not sure if I'm going to hit it by the end of this year. So if you would like to help me hit that goal, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. That always helps me out too. As I am going into the new year, I think I only have one more candle haul that I need to film for you. That's going to be a collective one from Kringle. But going into the month of January, I am actually putting myself on a no-buy for the month of January. So that should be fun. I think a lot of us always, we have this post-Christmas hangover where we're like, no more spending. The wallet cannot take it. So I'm planning on doing a no-buy in the month of January. I might extend it out even further because I have a lot of candles in my collection, a lot of great home fragrances that I really want to be able to focus on, maybe bring you more candle reviews, dedicated candle reviews. Let me know in the comment box if there are any in this video that you saw that you want some dedicated reviews on. That helps me prioritize what you all want to see. But anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next video, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.